and Logan a big applause.
That was a very environmental friendly speech, and now we're talking about something quite related. Okay, so we're going to watch a short video first. Oh, it's on the desktop. It's on the desktop. The file is on the desktop.
Fraction for the amounts it's like if you don't want more. He's gonna be so excited. That killed him. Hey, check
After watching the video, it's easy to see that we often jump to some quick conclusion when we're receiving the message at the first sight. The thoughts might be convincing on the surface, yet what the facts often stands at the opposite. But how often do we let ourselves be convinced too quickly, and what makes us to do so? Do you know that what the most talked about issue that concerns the world every day and everywhere? Undoubtedly, global warming crisis is the most talked about issue we hear about every day and everywhere. However, when we are afraid of the upcoming disasters, what do we really know about this inevitable calamity? We're standing here to deliver the speech not only because we're concerned about the earth, but also we're capable of telling you the truth. The figures and the diagram we're going to show were provided by Columbia University in New York City. I believe you just see it from David's speech, and NASA and Golda Institution, all of which are prestigious in the related area. In the following presentation, we will tell you the reason why the hypothesis of global warming is so popular in the world today, and why nobody questions the theory. At last, we're going to tell you about the solution to break the myth. First of all, let me show you the fact. When I say fact, I mean evidence supporting with neutral data coming from top-notch institution, not any further inferring from the public or media. To examine the global warming theory, we must know that the situation of carbon dioxide and the average temperature on the Earth. The fact is, carbon dioxide, CO2 in the following, in the atmosphere is increasing. But how much does it increase? The amount of CO2 in the air has raised from the number here to the number below. 60 of a million is how much it had raised. According to a report released from Antarctic scientists, the amount of CO2 had increased continuously since 1880, 50 years after the Industry Revolution. It sounds really reasonable so far. Here, this whole framework might be a little vague, so I'm going to visualize the number for you. Imagine the entire atmosphere of the Earth is a football court, and nitrogen brings a quarterback all the way to the 75 yards, and the oxygen brings the ball to the line of 99 yards. Within a yard, there is argon, puts you at 3.5 inches in front of the touchdown zone. So what's the proportion of CO2 in these 3.5 inches? About an inch. That is the visual scale drawing of the CO2 in the air. An inch in a 100-yard football field, as thick as a chalk. And CO2 had increased 60 of a million in this 1 inch. It might be gallons of amount in the vast atmosphere, yet still super minor to the atmosphere as a whole. That's the fact number one. Next, let's check out the data of average temperature. The average temperature of Earth has raised 0.3 degrees Celsius between 1970 and year 2000. The average temperature raised started to decline between year 2000 and year 2008. In year 2008, the average temperature of the Earth came to 14.3 degrees Celsius, the lowest temperature reading in 30 years. The winter in 2009 is a cold spell of Earth the northern hemisphere was nearly frozen by the continually striking of snowstorm. The average temperature around the world varies. There's no any non-universal theory or rules to explain the temperature change. And here I'll show the diagram around the world. As you can see, Australia and Russia. Australia is even and Russia is getting hotter. Italy is getting hotter, but Paris is getting cooler. Milan is getting cooler and Germany is getting cooler. Spain is getting cooler while Sweden is getting hotter. California is getting hotter, but Oklahoma is getting cooler. Colorado is getting colder in past 70 years. So the truth is we can't even estimate the weather 2 weeks after. So how can we predict the pattern of the climate change? Now let's see the myth that everyone might thought this global warming hypothesis. The first one I'm going to talk about is the sea level rises. As you know, the global mean sea level rise, as measured by satellite, 3.1 millimeters a year for the last decade, slightly more than 12 inches a century. However, the satellite showed a considerable variation. In the northern Pacific Ocean has risen, yet the South Pacific has fallen by several millimeters in recent years. Next one is glaciers and iceberg in South Pole melt. Is that so? According to the report, New Eye in Sky Glaciers and Ice Sheet. In recent 30 years, the glaciers in Greenland has already covered back the part they had lost a century before. These are so-called glacial surge, which means that the glaciers advance and move backward substantially. According to the paper, Interpretation of Recent Southern Hemisphere Climate Change, Antarctic Peninsula, this is Antarctic. Antarctic Peninsula has warmed several degrees while the interior has cooled somewhat. Antarctic Peninsula, here, peninsula means a land and one side is connected to the bigger land. Peninsula, which takes 2% in the whole Antarctic, and the other 98% of the Antarctic has increased. The ice has